guys? My name is Zach. I'm bringing you a very highly anticipated review and a highly anticipated movie of mine that I finally got to see last night, Suicide Squad. The new movie taking place after Man of Steel and Batman vs. Superman in this new DC cinematic universe that Warner Bros. Is building. How does this movie hold up? I liked it. Do I like it a lot? I don't know. I need to see it again. But I didn't love it like I wanted to. This movie, to me, was honestly a disappointment. I'll get into that in a second. I just want to warn you guys, there's no spoilers in this review at all. I'm not going to spoil a single thing. This is a non-spoilers review. I might do a spoilers review later on, down the road, maybe a couple days from now. But right now, this is a non-spoilers review for Suicide Squad. So don't worry, you don't have to go. Just know I'm going to go in-depth behind the scenes, what the critics are saying, and everything of that. And it might be some rants in here, so follow along, get into this, strap in, we're going in on review. This is going to be longer than my other ones, so be ready. Let me start off with saying this. A couple days ago, when the critics started reviewing this movie, they bashed it. Some people were saying it was horrible, some people were saying it's trash. And it's the same thing happened to Batman vs. Superman when that movie came out. And when I saw Batman vs. Superman, my expectations were so high, and even when I still saw the reviews, they kind of dwindled, but they were still high, saying, I'm going to make my own opinion. And I like Batman vs. Superman? The first time I liked it, I was disappointed. Second time I saw it, I liked it more, but I didn't love it. I saw that 3-hour version, the Ultimate Cut, 10 times better. I would give that one like a 9 out of 10 to even an A-. I thought it was fantastic how they made it a drama in the superhero world. Now, going to Suicide Squad. It's directed and written by David Ayer, who have done Training Day, End of Watch, Sabotage, whatever about that movie. And you even have great movies, like I just mentioned, Training Day, and even Fury, which Fury was a great tank movie. And you sign him on the Suicide Squad, and I love the Suicide Squad comics. I love Harley Quinn. I love Deadshot. I love Killer Croc. I love all the characters they were throwing in this. As a kid, I used to love the comic books for these characters. I loved seeing the Batman Rogue Gallery all have to team up. You know, you also threw some little ones in there like Diablo and Captain Boomerang. And, you know, you even had an appearance of the Joker in this movie. It had everything to make it almost a perfect movie, and it doesn't satisfy me that way. It is not a perfect movie whatsoever, and I totally get why the critics bash this movie. I understand why, and the reasons why is I will totally understand if you tell me you hated this movie, and I will totally understand if you said you loved this movie. But for me nowadays, I feel like superhero movies are not just to see people kick the shit out of each other. That is, yes, it is entertaining to see that. But I think in superhero movies today, in almost any movie, this isn't an Expendables or a John Wick or one of those 80s movies where screw the story, you're just wanting to get the action and see the funness. Suicide Squad did not need to be that. It could have had fun, and it could have been along with that with all the fun and the funny jokes and whatnot, and you could have had that dark tone still. But it seemed like after Batman vs. Superman got criticized for its dark tone, they changed this movie up, and that was the disappointment. This movie should have been dark, and I honestly will say it should have been rated R. Now, did it need to be rated R? No. But I think it would have benefited this movie, because it is dark. And when you see that, where there's a certain point where you can tell where the tone changes, where it went from dark to kind of fun to happy and comedical and stuff like that. And the comedy does work at times. I'm not going to bash all the comedy, but the movie itself should have just kept the way that first trailer popped out as. And Suicide Squad, like I said, is a fun movie. It is really fun. I came out, I was smiling through the whole thing, but I did have a little gripes about it. Before I get into those gripes, I'm going to talk about my pros. Pros of this movie. The acting was superb from each and every actor, especially Jai Courtney. I do not like Jai Courtney at all. I think he's a horrible actor when he's the main character. As playing Captain Boomerang, he was so fun, he was so unique, and such a great character to watch. Even though he doesn't have that much screen time, he's very appealing, and I really liked his character a lot. Other characters, Deadshot, Will Smith kills it. Deadshot is a great character. Will Smith brought so much to it. Yes, he has his Will Smithisms in there, that he has in I Am Legend and I, Robot and all of his other movies, but he does a fantastic job as Deadshot, and I want to see more of Deadshot. Harley Quinn, how does Margot Robbie, one of my favorite actresses out there right now, also one of the hottest actresses out there. If you guys seen Wolf of Wall Street, you know what I'm talking about. How does she do as Harley Quinn? Harley Quinn's big debut to the screen. She does a fantastic job. So funny, so energetic. She's just that Harley Quinn that you remember from that old TV show, from the old Batman TV show when you were younger. And it was great seeing her. Now you have Jared Leto as the Joker, where the look came out and people were like, "What are you doing? That's not Jared Leto. That's not the Joker. What are you?" And then people start throwing comparatives to Jack Nicholson and Heath Ledger's Joker. And honestly, I'm going to say this. I loved his Joker. There wasn't enough of him, though. And my con will kind of go back to that. But first off, I really liked his performance. And the best thing is that the chemistry of this core group is fantastic. It is great, and it's honestly really beautiful to see how great the chemistry was working between each and every member of the Suicide Squad group. Especially Harley Quinn, Deadshot, and then Harley Quinn and Joker. Fantastic. Margot Robbie and Jared Leto's chemistry is great. Even though we didn't get to see a lot of the Joker, I want to see more of him because he is fantastic as the Joker from what I got to see. He's not Heath Ledger. And anyone who compares him to him, it's unfair because they are playing two separate Jokers. This is a Joker straight from the comic book. He's a gangster. That is what he is. He's a psychotic gangster that people are scared of. And there's a lot of throwbacks to the comics and a lot of throwbacks to the old TV show that really just got my inner child right then and there just all happy and excited, and it made me so happy to see that. Now getting into it, how did the other characters do? Diablo, standout. Really like Diablo. Fantastic character, fantastic everything around him. Enchantress, she's part of my cons, so I'm going to get that into a second. But almost all the other characters, Slipknot's not even worth talking about. Just pointless. Killer Croc was really cool. I like how they did the makeup instead of the CGI. That was a cool thing. They made him look all lunging and big. Great performance from him. Not enough of him either. And that's my one thing. Is now the pros also. The story, not strong at all. Horrible. The script, shit. Dialogue, I feels like a lot of it was improv, which I hope it was. Maybe some of it was actually from the script. But overall, David Ayer is a great writer, and I can tell from behind the scenes when they said he only had 6 weeks to write the script, you can tell in this movie. He should have had a lot more time to work on this movie, and he didn't. And that is very sad because this is where I go into my cons. I'm going to start off. The story, absolute horrible. Not even going to go into it. The mission they went on, horrible. Did not like it. The villain just useless. I thought the villain was stupid. It was dumb, didn't need to be there, and they could have had a better villain overall. I'm not going to spoil who the villain is. If you watch the trailers, maybe you can hint into who it is. But overall, the villain honestly should have been Joker. For people who... The Joker should have been the villain, and I think there was a great story that you could have seen there. The Joker subplot is interesting, but it seems like they cut out a lot of his stuff, so you didn't get to see any of that. The Joker's hardly in this movie, and that is one of my other cons. You didn't get enough Joker. You marketed him so much, and he's only in the movie for, 10 to 15 minutes at the most, maybe even less than that. And some of the editing in the movie is... Some of it's really good, and then other parts is not. The character structure, especially with some of the characters, it's cool when you introduce and you get to see some things by their names, and that's pretty cool. But the Joker scenes in particular, I just didn't like how they edited some of them, because you ruin what he's saying, what he's trying to do, and it's like... Some part of me just wishes they didn't have Joker in this and they just hinted at him. But at the same time, I wish you would have just kept his other scenes in there and made him a more prominent character like you marketed him. Other things in this movie. CGI, it was good, but it wasn't the best CGI I've ever seen in my whole life. Suicide Squad is a fun movie, and I hope people really do go out and see it and make your own opinion on it. This is my wholehearted opinion about it. I might see it tonight, and I'm going to. And I might even love it more. I might like it. I might love it for all I know. But I did like the movie. I do think it's a fun time. I just expect more from my superhero movies today. And any movie in general. Unless you're just trying to go for that B-rated flick. But that's not what Suicide Squad was marketed as. It was marketed as the next line into the DC universe. And that's not what I got from this movie. I got great characters that I'm excited to see. Yes, I am excited about Justice League. Yes, I am excited about Wonder Woman. And where these characters go. I do want to see a Suicide Squad 2. I just hope the studio does not interfere this time. I did really like those characters. The chemistry, the action scenes especially, I didn't really get into because I don't want to mention anything about them and ruin them. But the action is hands down great. The last fight scene is a little disappointing, but overall, the other actions make up for that one. The other thing I would have to say that I just can't even get into my mind. Some people are going to love it, some people are going to hate it. They really tried copying Guardians with the music. Guardians of the Galaxy has a great soundtrack, and you can tell because James Gunn wrote the script around the music. Suicide Squad, they didn't. They just place a song here to try and make you feel something, and you're not trying to. It's just supposed to be that tone. There were some parts where the music really did work, and then there's times where it didn't at all. And it really just bothered me how much they were changing the music. In the last 40 minutes, there's like no music till like the very end. And that was dumb. You shouldn't have done that. You should have just sprinkled it through. Maybe it would have worked a little better. Overall, though, what can I say about this movie? I really did like it. I'm bragging on it, I'm bashing on it, but that's because I understand why the critics didn't like this movie. And if you go back and listen to my thing and then go and see the movie again, you're gonna see those particular things I just picked out. And I understand if people don't like this Joker, I understand. But you have to understand is that you can't compare it to any other Joker. It's different. Same thing with anything in this movie. I understand if you don't like this movie. I understand if you love the movie. I understand if you just liked it like I did. But this movie should have had more meat to it and more of a structure of story and editing, and it didn't. Started out great, puttered right in the middle, kind of got There's one bar scene that was fantastic that I really liked and I wanted more of. And then you have one scene right at the very, very end that just, the closing, I just did not really enjoy. It had its moments and it was kind of funny, but overall, the ending, it just wasn't there. I will say there is an end after credit sequence, so stay tuned, watch that. I actually really enjoyed that. There's some cameos in here that are great. Overall, though, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I'm going to give this movie a C+ from me. I understand why the critics didn't like it. It is worth going to the movies to see this movie. If you were excited about it, just lower your expectations a little bit. Understand you're not going to get really that good of a story or anything in the DC universe, but you're going to get some great characters, chemistry, and some good action as well. Other than that, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Look out for my spoiler review. If I do decide to do that, I am going to review the Batman v Superman 3-hour edition sooner or later. I'm going to review The Killing Joke as well, the new Batman cartoon version. I have a lot of reviews coming soon, so look out for those. And make sure to also, please go support movies. People do not see them in the movie theaters enough. Other than that, guys, I hope you guys have a great day and enjoyed this review. Make sure to subscribe, comment, and like, and let me know what your opinion was. Have a great rest of your day.